Half of these games you've probably been sleeping on, and the rest are the ones you've been meaning to play someday. Well, that someday is now. While you're busy replaying the same titles, these 18 masterpieces are out there waiting. Each one a solid 10/10 experience you shouldn't miss. Some even have sequels that could spoil the magic of the original, so now's the time to dive in before it's too late. Let's jump into the list. A Plague Tale. Innocence hits way deeper than you'd expect. At first, it feels like a typical stealth adventure set in a dark medieval world, but soon you're emotionally locked in with two kids just trying to survive as their world falls apart. You play as Amisha, doing everything she can to protect her little brother Hugo while the world around them crumbles under rats, disease, and chaos. It's not a story about power or revenge. It's about survival, love, and the strength of family. The pacing is spot on, balancing quiet, tense moments with bursts of action that keep your heart racing. Every scene feels real and lived in, from the hauntingly beautiful environments to the echoes of fear and hope in every step. When the story finally hits its emotional peak, it's unforgettable. This isn't just another stealth game. It's a raw, heartfelt journey that shows just how far someone will go to protect the ones they love.
Stay down. Hugo, it's me, Gabriel. Come here, quickly.
Hey, you! What the hell are you doing?
Let's go. We need to move. Don't look.
Detroit. Become Human is one of those games that makes you question every choice you've ever made. It's not just about androids, it's about humanity, morality, and who you really are when faced with impossible decisions. Every choice you make actually matters, shaping the story in real ways that stick with you long after you put the controller down. One small action can turn a savior into a villain or spark a revolution that changes everything. What's wild is how real the consequences feel. You can't just reload and pretend it never happened. The performances from Connor, Kara, and Marcus are so believable that they stop feeling like characters and start feeling like people. Their fear, hope, and rebellion hit on a level that's hard to describe. The branching storylines flow seamlessly, and every replay feels like watching a brand new film unfold. But what really makes Detroit Become Human special isn't the graphics or tech, it's how personal it becomes. It's not about right or wrong, it's about empathy. By the end, you realize this isn't just sci-fi. It's a reflection of us, and that's what makes it a true 10/10 experience. Just Cause 4. Reloaded is the definition of pure chaos and fun. Not every masterpiece needs to be emotional or deep. Sometimes a game is perfect because it lets you go absolutely wild. You step into the boots of Rico Rodriguez, a walking disaster zone with a grappling hook, a wingsuit, and zero respect for physics. You want to attach a jet engine to a car, launch it off a mountain, and surf on top of it mid-air? Go for it. The game actually encourages that kind of madness. With tornadoes ripping through the map and explosions everywhere you turn, Just Cause 4, Reloaded is creativity through chaos. But beneath all the insanity, there's a clever layer of strategy. You're not just blowing stuff up, you're leading a revolution one ridiculous stunt at a time. The massive open world feels alive, dynamic, and just waiting for you to break it in the best way possible. Every session turns into hours of hilarious, unscripted moments. It's not about perfection, it's about freedom, laughter, and doing things just because you can. If chaos had a name, it'd be Rico Rodriguez, and honestly, gaming's better for it. Hollow Knight is one of those rare games that reminds you exactly why you fell in love with gaming in the first place. It doesn't scream for your attention, it quietly pulls you in. Set in the mysterious fallen kingdom of Hallownest, it's a world filled with silence, beauty, and heartbreak. There's no hand-holding here, no giant tutorials or flashy quest markers, just you, your instincts, and a hauntingly beautiful world begging to be explored. Every path feels meaningful, every enemy has purpose, and every victory feels earned. The combat is crisp and precise, the bosses are unforgiving but fair, and the satisfaction of overcoming them is unmatched. What truly sets Hollow Knight apart is how it tells its story through whispers, subtle details, and the quiet spaces in between. It's patient, it's poetic, and it rewards curiosity like few games ever do. And then there's the soundtrack, melancholic, powerful, and perfectly timed. One moment you're locked in a desperate fight, and the next you're sitting still, lost in the music. What makes Hollow Knight a true 10/10 isn't just how good it feels to play, it's how deeply it resonates. It's dark, emotional, and endlessly rewarding. If you love exploration and challenge, this journey will stay with you forever. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game, it's an experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll. The first time you ride out a Valentine at sunset with that sweeping soundtrack playing, it's pure magic. This game doesn't rush you, it lets you live in its world. You feel the wind across the plains, the rain soaking your coat, and the weight of every decision you make as Arthur Morgan, one of the most complex and human characters ever written. You don't just play Arthur, you become him. You feel his guilt, his loyalty, his quiet regret. Rockstar built a world so alive it's almost painful to leave. Every NPC feels real, your horse becomes your companion, and the attention to detail is unreal. But the reason Red Dead Redemption 2 is a perfect 10/10 isn't just the graphics or realism, it's the emotion. It's how it makes you care. It's how, by the end, you're not just finishing a story, you're saying goodbye to a part of yourself. This game isn't about gunfights or loot. It's about humanity, redemption, and the cost of doing what's right. And no game has ever captured that feeling better. Alan Wake Remastered is a dream come true for anyone who loves storytelling done right. It's that perfect mix of mystery, psychological horror, and cinematic flair that feels like stepping into your favorite TV thriller. Imagine Twin Peaks colliding with Stephen King. You play as Alan, a writer trapped inside his own nightmare, where the line between fiction and reality fades fast, and the things he writes start to come alive. The pacing keeps you constantly on edge, just enough answers to pull you forward, but never enough to make you comfortable. Every flickering light, every eerie sound in the woods makes you feel like something is always watching. The combat might look simple, flashlight, gun, repeat, but the tension makes every encounter feel intense and desperate. What really makes Alan Wake Remastered stand out is how it toys with the idea of storytelling itself. It's about obsession, creation, and losing control of your own imagination. The atmosphere, the music, and that haunting narration come together to create something timeless. It's not just scary, it's poetic. And if you love stories that linger long after the credits roll, this is a masterpiece you absolutely shouldn't skip. Ghost of Tsushima is what happens when art and action blend perfectly. It's not just a game, it's a living painting that moves with every gust of wind. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between honor and survival as he defends his homeland from Mongol invaders. That inner battle between tradition and necessity fuels everything from the story to the smallest sword clash. The combat is fluid and graceful, turning every fight into a dance of precision and patience. And those standoffs? They make you feel like an absolute legend. The world itself is breathtaking fields of red leaves, temples in the mist, and sunsets that make you stop just to take it in. But what truly makes Ghost of Tsushima special is how it balances beauty with silence. There are moments when the world just breathes, and you feel it. By the end, it's not just a tale of revenge. It's about identity, sacrifice, and what it means to become a legend. Every frame feels like it was painted with love, and that's why this isn't just a great game. It's a 10/10 piece of art. Metro Exodus is where survival meets raw emotion. If Ghost of Tsushima is poetic beauty, this one is pure, brutal realism. It takes everything the Metro series is known for, dark tunnels, tight survival, and constant tension, and finally lets you step into the open. But the surface world? It's just as deadly. You play as Artyom, leading your crew through the ruins of post-apocalyptic Russia in search of hope, chasing whispers that life might still exist beyond the wasteland. The open-world areas aren't massive for show, they're dense, full of stories, danger, and atmosphere. What truly stands out is how human the game feels. Around every campfire, in every quiet conversation, you're reminded these aren't just survivors, they're people still trying to hold on to what makes them human. Combat is gritty and tense, ammo is scarce, and stealth actually matters. Every shot you take feels like a decision that could cost you later. The atmosphere is thick. You can almost taste the dust in the air and feel the icy wind biting your skin. Metro Exodus doesn't rely on jump scares. It gets under your skin through loneliness and silence. It's emotional, haunting, and unforgettable. A 10-10 journey through the end of the world that'll stay with you long after it's over. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the kind of game that spoils you for everything else. Once you've stepped into Geralt's boots, it's hard to find another world that feels this alive. Every village, forest, and back alley breathes with life and stories waiting to be discovered. This isn't a game that holds your hand. It lets you carve your own path through a dark, morally complex world, filled with monsters, love, betrayal, and pain. And the writing? It's not just great for a game, it's great, period. The side quests are so deep and emotional, they could pass for main storylines in most RPGs. One moment you're slaying a griffin, and the next you're wrestling with heartbreak or moral choices that have no right answer. The soundtrack is stunning, from the haunting battle themes to those peaceful moments of quiet, riding through the fields at sunset. Everything about The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt feels handcrafted and timeless. It's not just a 10-10, it's a benchmark for storytelling, world building, and emotional depth. A masterpiece that reminds you exactly why gaming is an art form. Far Cry 4 is one of those games that often flies under the radar, but it absolutely deserves more love. Everyone always talks about Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 5, yet this one quietly perfected everything that makes the series great. Set in the stunning mountain region of Kurata fictional country inspired by Nepal, you're thrown into a world of rebellion, danger, and moral choices that constantly challenge you. The story pits you against Pagan Min, one of the most charismatic and unpredictable villains ever created. He's charming, psychotic, and impossible to look away from. But what really makes Far Cry 4 shine is the freedom it gives you. You can climb snowy peaks, glide through the air in a gyrocopter, tame wild beasts, or storm outposts in pure chaos. Whether you go stealthy or loud, the game adapts beautifully to your style. The world feels alive, breathtaking landscapes, hidden temples, explosive firefights, and those random animal encounters that always seem to happen at the worst time. It's that perfect mix of beauty and madness that Ubisoft used to nail so well. You'll laugh, panic, and probably set yourself on fire at least once, and somehow it'll still be fun. Far Cry 4 might not reinvent the formula, but it absolutely masters it. A chaotic, gorgeous, unforgettable 10 out of 10 experience.
Look alive, Buttercup! Sounds like our little shindig didn't go unnoticed. The rain's coming down a little too hard for my taste. I'm heading to cover.
Horizon Zero Dawn blew everyone away when it launched, and honestly, it still does. It's one of those rare games that makes you stop mid-battle just to soak in the scenery. Set in a breathtaking post-apocalyptic world overrun by robotic creatures, it's both strange and beautiful in equal measure. You play as Aloy, one of the most memorable protagonists in modern gaming, curious, fierce, and driven to uncover the truth about her world's mysterious past. The story digs deep into the fall of humanity and what rose after, mixing emotion and hope in ways that hit hard. The combat is where Horizon Zero Dawn truly stands out. It's all about strategy, not brute force. You scan enemies, set traps, and break down these mechanical beasts piece by piece until you finally bring them down. Every fight feels earned. The pacing is flawless, balancing action, exploration, and quiet moments of awe. Whether you're sneaking through tall grass or facing off against a towering thunderjaw, the thrill never fades. Horizon Zero Dawn is epic yet personal, cinematic yet emotional, a perfect 10 out of 10 that proves open-world games can still feel fresh, meaningful, and full of heart. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 takes realism in gaming to a whole new level. Forget about dragons, magic, or chosen heroes. This game drops you straight into the harsh reality of medieval life. You're not some unstoppable warrior, you're just a regular guy trying to survive in 15th century Bohemia. You need to eat, sleep, train, and actually learn how to fight, which makes every small victory feel genuinely earned. The world feels massive and incredibly detailed, from dense forests and muddy roads to bustling villages that look and sound alive. There are no glowing waypoints or easy hints here. You have to think, explore, and make your own decisions. The story dives deep into politics, revenge, faith, and morality, with choices that shape how people treat you. It's visually stunning too. Every sword, shield, and sunset feels handcrafted for immersion. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 isn't just another RPG, it's an experience that makes you live every moment of your journey. It's tough, rewarding, and one of the most authentic medieval adventures you can play. The Last of Us is one of those rare games that completely redefines what storytelling in gaming can be. It's not just another survival game, it's a powerful story about love, loss, and the fragile hope that keeps people going when the world falls apart. You play as Joel, a man hardened by tragedy, and Ellie, a girl who still believes there's something worth fighting for. Their journey across a broken America is filled with danger, trust, and deeply emotional moments that hit harder than most movies. The writing and performances are phenomenal, and every quiet scene between these two feels real and human. The atmosphere pulls you in too, from the overgrown cities reclaimed by nature to the haunting silence that says more than words ever could. The Last of Us is raw, emotional, and unforgettable. It's a masterpiece that proves games can move you just as deeply as any film, and even after all these years, the remaster still carries that same emotional weight. An absolute 10 out of 10 experience that stays with you long after the credits roll.
Run away!
Mafia Definitive Edition shows exactly how a remake should be done. This isn't just a polished-up version of an old game. It's a full cinematic retelling that pulls you straight into the 1930s. You play as Tommy Angelo, a regular cab driver who accidentally gets tangled up in the mob life. The moment you set foot in Lost Heaven, you can feel the era come alive. The vintage cars, smoky jazz, and rain-soaked streets all make it feel like you're living inside a classic gangster film. What makes Mafia Definitive Edition stand out is its focus on story over chaos. It's not about random explosions or open-world mayhem, it's about loyalty, power, and the cost of ambition. Every mission feels like a movie scene, blending action and emotion perfectly. Tommy's not a superhero, just a man making impossible choices, and by the end, you can't help but sit back and reflect on everything that happened. It's storytelling done right, simple, powerful, and unforgettable.
I don't know, it might be okay.
You should get in the call anyways. Hey, I see you listening, cabbie. You don't get to listen either.
All I'm doing is taking you guys where you want to go.
So do that.
God of War Ragnarok is gaming at its absolute peak. It builds on everything the 2018 game did and takes it even further. The world is grander, the emotion is deeper, and the action is on another level. Kratos isn't just the god of war anymore. He's a father learning how to guide his son while still wrestling with his own past. The bond between Kratos and Atreus feels real. They clash, they grow, and they share moments that hit hard. Combat feels incredible. The Leviathan axe still lands with satisfying weight, and swapping to the Blades of Chaos mid-fight is pure hype. The boss battles? Next level. They're not just fights, they're emotional payoffs that make you want to cheer when they end. Beneath all the myth and chaos, God of War Ragnarok is really about change, loss, and learning to let go. It's breathtaking from start to finish, a 10 out of 10 experience that proves games can tell stories better than almost anything else. The Elder Scrolls V. Skyrim has become more than just a game. It's a piece of gaming history that refuses to fade. The moment you hear that iconic, "Hey, you're finally awake," it's like stepping back into a world that feels both familiar and limitless. What makes Skyrim truly special isn't just the dragons, the shouts, or the endless quests. It's the freedom. You can be whoever you want to be, a stealthy thief, a powerful mage, or a total wild card causing chaos across Tamriel. Every mountain, cave, and village feels alive with stories waiting to be found. the soundtrack still gives goosebumps, especially when those strings rise as you look out over snow-covered peaks. Sure, it's buggy, and yeah, we've all bought it more times than we'd like to admit, but there's a reason for that. Skyrim feels like home, a world you keep coming back to because it captures that perfect mix of adventure and nostalgia. It's not just timeless, it's eternal. A flawless 10 out of 10 masterpiece that will still be played decades from now.
Prisoner, keep close to me if you want to stay that way. Gunnar, take care of the boy. I have to find General Tullius to join the defense. God's guide you, headlong.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is how you resurrect a legend. Capcom didn't just update the graphics, they rebuilt everything from the ground up and made it terrifying all over again. The atmosphere is pure tension. Every hallway in the Raccoon City Police Department feels alive with dread. You hear footsteps echoing, rain tapping on the windows, and then that slow, heavy stomp of Mr. X. Suddenly, your pulse is racing. This isn't about jump scares. It's about that deep, creeping fear that makes you double-check every corner. Managing your ammo, solving puzzles, and trying to survive just one more room, it's horror perfection. Leon and Claire's paths intertwine seamlessly, showing two sides of the same nightmare. And the detail? Unreal. Every shadow, every reflection, every gruesome zombie feels handcrafted. Resident Evil 2. Remake isn't just a game, it's a cinematic survival experience that keeps you hooked from start to finish. A perfect 10 out of 10 that proves remakes can outshine the originals when done with passion and respect. Sackboy. A big adventure is the kind of game that just makes you happy the moment you start playing. It's pure, creative fun that feels like a celebration of everything good about gaming. Every level bursts with color, charm, and imagination like someone brought a craft table to life. You play as Sackboy, this small but brave hero made of yarn, and somehow he's got more personality than most big-budget protagonists. The game keeps things fresh at every turn. One level has you bouncing along to perfectly timed pop music, and the next has you solving hilarious puzzles with your friends in chaotic co-op mode. It's never about being the most realistic or the most epic, it's about joy. The textures, lighting, and fabric details are stunning, making the whole world feel handcrafted and alive. Sackboy. A big adventure is a mood booster, a reminder that gaming can still be simple, beautiful, and full of heart. Easily a 10 out of 10 in pure happiness. Alright, here's the thing. Games like these are why we keep playing. It's not about the graphics or the trophies, it's about the moments. That one scene that hits deep, that soundtrack that gives you chills, or that level that makes you grin like a kid again. If even one of these games made you feel something, whether it's joy, fear, or wonder, then you felt the real magic of gaming. So, which of these 10 out of 10 masterpieces do you think deserves the crown? Drop your pick in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe so we can keep celebrating the games that keep us awake at night in the best possible way.